Hey guys, welcome to Halfbeard's HUD's Heads Up! Today we're checking out Lost Dimension, because you know we love us some JRPGs. And we got a new one here, from Atlas Landkars and Thuryu, I think is the name of that developer. I don't know how you pronounce it. Anyways, this is kind of a neat one. It's kind of going for a weird mix of like Persona and Danganronpa and just Fire Emblem a little bit. It's got a very interesting core story conceit to it, which I'm not going to ruin, I am going to ruin it, which I don't feel like I'm ruining, because it's been all over the marketing, basically. And that is the fact that there is always a traitor in your group. The whole plot here is that you are a group of super psychic soldiers sent to stop this motherfucker, the End, from taking over the world. Even though he kind of already has. He's destroyed a bunch of it, and he's got this big stupid death tower. So anyways, you all get sent to it. You're these people. You get sent into his stupid death tower to go stop him. And while you're in there, he reveals that, hey, guess what? One of you is a traitor. Or maybe more of you. I don't know. And then you must fight your way up his tower, with each floor a new traitor being revealed. But where it gets really interesting is that the traitors are not defined, basically. They're not the same each time you play this game. There is no walkthrough for who is the traitor, because, with the exception of the first floor, the first time you play the game, the traitor is dynamically chosen each time. It could be any one of your group, and you need to use some interesting signs, some tells, to figure out who they are before they do bad stuff, basically. It's an interesting concept. I'm not sure it jives super well with the narrative in spots, which I'll go into later, but the whole just idea of there is one of your teammates is a traitor, and you need to watch out for that, and you will never be able to tell who it is until it's too late, is actually super cool. So let's just jump into this. I've not put a ton of time into this version. I actually put a bunch of time into the Vita version, because there is two versions of this game. They're both more or less the same. The Vita version doesn't look quite as nice, and it doesn't have as speedy load times as this version does. But feature-wise, it's the exact same. Though I will note there is no cross-save or cross-buy, which is a bummer. I get not doing cross-buy, but cross-save would have been really appreciated here, as this is a game that's really good for kind of like bite-size chunks of time on the boss or something like that, and the ability to not just move it forward onto the PS3 it's a bummer. It's a real bummer. Anyways, what we're doing, we're playing this game. So there's a bunch of subsystems here. You can see them flashing. I will deal with those later. For now, let's just jump right into gameplay, show that off, and then I will get into all the side stuff, because there's a lot of it. So, going to reconnaissance. As I said, kind of Fire Emblem-y in the way the gameplay works. We've got a number of different characters here. They all have their own abilities. They're all, as I said, they're all psychics, but this game uses the term psychic really loosely. It's basically anybody with a... They're all basically the X-Men. They're basically X-Men. They all have their own stupid mutant gift that they use for different things. She's a fire lady. He's Magneto. She's super strong, even though she's like a schoolgirl. This chick can float. This guy's a doctor, but he's also the healer, so that's nice. That's handy. This guy's just a dick. Basically, he steals your life essence to sync with his own, and then he fights real good, kind of. I don't know. This kid's like just full-on psychic. He's got the telekinesis shit. She is telepathic, though the way they decide to make that gameplay that she just gives buffs out to people, basically. This kid's Nightcrawler, and this guy is like a dumb American, basically. His mutant power is yelling Japanese words at people in dialogue. Also, yo, I have a sword. That's his whole deal. We're not gonna use him. We're gonna use this annoying girl. We're gonna bring, let's see. We're gonna bring her, put her there. We're gonna bring her, put her there. We're gonna bring this guy, put him there. We're gonna bring the doctor. Because you always want to bring a healer. It's always smart to bring a healer. And though you do get more healing options as the game goes on, and I will explain how those systems work as we get there. Loading. As I said, load times in this version are definitely better than the Vita version. Kind of pops real quick. It looks nicer too. The models are just a little sharper, a little better defined than the Vita version. That said, they still look more or less the same, and they're feature-wise the exact same. So you kind of can pick either version. I think the Vita version's like $10 less. So if you got a Vita, I'm gonna recommend that version. Actually, I've really been enjoying that version of it. So I'll move him up, put him here. So as you can see, movement circle here. It confines and restricts. I'm gonna move forward so I can show it. as you move, which is kind of an interesting way to handle that. And you got a limited amount of movement per turn. You get 1 action per turn. You can just standard attack. You can use your gifts, which are your stupid psychic abilities. You can defer, which is giving your turn to another ally who has already acted. Though that costs Sam, which is basically just a special insanity meter that once it runs out, you're dazed for a turn. Not the biggest deal in the world, frankly. Or use an item. Standard stuff. Just going to attack for now. Pop. Quick bit of damage. Where things get interesting is in this game's kind of gameplay hook, in that characters will work together on attack. So we'll put her also in range of this guy. Now they're both here. They're both in range. So when she goes to attack him, Sho can assist. And you can stack up big, long chains of this to just utterly destroy an enemy. But the enemy can do it as well. And also, the important thing to remember is that when you are stacked up like this, you are prime for AoE attacks, which are not abundant in this game, but they're certainly there. It's certainly something you have to worry about, especially with the right kind of enemies. So it's a very simple system, but it's also very flexible, and it does mean you have to change your thinking enough that it's, it behooves some actual concentration. So we're gonna put her. She cannot do her special attack, so we're just gonna wait. Well, how about you? I can put you here, and then you can use your stupid Magneto abilities to go hit this guy. His Magneto abilities basically just make him shoot real good. A lot of the characters use their special abilities basically just to shoot real good. Put him like this, and then have her move up so she's really close to everybody, because she is my bruiser. As you can see, 800 health. No one has even close to that. She is all about punching people. Her special ability is that she is, the Hulk. Tiny Japanese schoolgirl, the Hulk. She ends up being really useful, even though her character is super annoying. It kind of pisses me off, actually. She uses this really bad fake English accent, and I mean fake because the game actually admits that it's fake too, which is hilarious. And she's just like one of the worst characters to deal with, but you kind of have to use her because she's got so much health and her abilities are wicked useful. So I think we're in a good spot where everyone will be able to work on this. Yeah. So as you can see, because these guys have decided to run into my trap, I set up a nice defensive line. 1 attack from me, this guy gets attacked by 3 other people. With 1 attack, 1 small action, I am able to do, probably 1,000 points of damage to everybody attacked. Well, not 1,000, maybe 500. Still, a lot of damage. Quite useful. Have her move like this. Is anybody else going to help on this? No. So let's actually stop that. What are we doing here? We're going to have her move in like this. That way she's put herself in position for another attack. Where's the doctor? Let him attack. He never gets to attack. He can, I think he can do it. Yeah, there we go. He's got knives that I guess he throws. Oh, she missed. But now there's a couple people in assist position. So even though there's a counter here, that counter means she will get shot and hit if this guy survives his attack. That's not going to happen because we've got 2 assists happening. That'll clear out this guy before he can even do it. Or, back attack will do it as well. Why not? We'll open up this door. Let the next group of guys in. Get ready for them. A lot of building defensive lines in this game. That I've found is a key strategic element in the playstyle here. Is ensuring that you are ready to deal with the enemies as they flood in towards you. Camera's not great during the enemy turn. You'll often see stuff kind of cutting in and out. It's not great. Also, you can't skip through this or fast forward through it. It's a real bummer. It makes this part of the game real slow. I mean, they move pretty fast. The AI is not smart. It's decisive. It moves quickly, it does what it needs to, and then it stops. It doesn't have that same problem codename Steam had, where the enemies take forever to figure out what the fuck they're doing. But the enemy is rock fucking stupid. I've seen them run into each other for 3 seconds and be like, I guess I can't get past here. Even though there's huge thoroughfares to either side to walk around the guy they're running into, and then they just stop. Super far away, wasting their turns. It's sad, really. I think we're going to be able to get just close enough. Yeah, perfect. Get a free shot, basically.
Here I go.
Have her move up, put her here. Where's Dr. Man? Have him use his gift. His gift of healing. As you can see, all the gifts cost GP, which is gift points, and Sand. Already explained what Sand does. There we go. She's all pumped up. have her over here. I'd like to actually have her back here. The trick is I'm trying not to put anybody too close to one another, because if I do, that sword guy can do this big swipe that'll hit everybody in a line. So trying to space people out is always smart. Like, you want to space people out, but also have them close enough that they're able to work together. It's, again, a very simple system, but it's got a lot of potential. There's a lot it can do. Look at this. See, things just running into it. It's like, I guess I can't get past. Oh, no. It could have gone around him. It wouldn't have been hard, but it's just, no, I can't figure it out. I'm too stupid. Sad. Sad is what it is. I'm going to attack this thing. It should just die. Yep. There are other people waiting to assist me there, so I wasn't worried.
Here I go.
And now here, let's see. Spring her in. We'll use her fire. So, gift, burn. And you can move around with your ability, or you can just kind of stand still and aim it. Get her like this. And then let's see. We've got one assist happening here. That's fine, because she won't get counterattacked. Her normal attack's a knife, which sucks. Now, what I can do here is there's also special attacks certain characters can do, even aside from their gifts, depending on their weapons. So because he's got an SMG, he can just do a street sweep, which there's no chance it'll get countered, but it doesn't have as high damage chance as well as a hit chance. That's it, because I'm right there. Not too bad. It's also got, like, no range. You got to be more or less melee with that thing in order for it to work. Do this. And everybody should pile on. There you go. Yeah, the best thing that sweep is useful for is getting one of these guys right up close, so they're always in, basically, assist mode.
Let's go.
Get her... Oh, can she not squeeze through? Yes, she can. Get her back a little bit. There you go. Take this thing out. Everyone will just pile on. There's something really satisfying about having all your characters link up together like that and just fire off assist attacks. It's really enjoyable. So she is just going to sit here. Steal this guy's attention. Wait for it. Oh no, he decided to do something remotely smart. But as you can see, he did a fair amount of damage. This is definitely a game of some heavier hits. It's not too much about chipping, which is nice.
Let's go.
Move him a little closer. A little closer. Oh, he's going to counter. Well, in this case, let's actually move her up behind him. This is one of the few good cases to use her melee. Because the knife does a ton of damage as a critical from behind. It's just, she's a small mage-type character. It's rare you're going to have her up close like that. In fact, that was still not a great idea, because you got hit. Who am I alright with hanging back? I guess him, but let's move him back here. Like this. There we go. Perfect.
That takes care of that.
Yeah, why these guys explode into, like, digital chunks or whatever, it's not super well explained. Kind of just seems like they are made of magic or something. I don't know. I don't know. The story has been kind of vague so far. It has a problem a lot of JRPGs have, where the central lore and mythology of this universe is not ever really well explained, so it's hard to identify with. This is an issue I've had with a ton of games in this genre, and this is a really good example of that issue, where just it's impossible to tell what the fuck is actually going on. This is the fun ability. It allows me to buff up people who are nice and close to me. Give them extra, basically defensive stuff. It increases their defense and their agility, so evasive rolls and armor. Yeah, the enemy moved, though I couldn't see a damn thing that happened. Made for really interesting TV. I'm gonna have him do this. And we're gonna get ready for the big crazy enemies that are coming this way. Have him wait like this. This is a good spot to put him.
Here I go.
Put her right about here. Oh, no, turn around. Back attacks are a thing against your characters, too. That's why defensive lines are so important. Ensures that no one is having their back turned to the enemy. And they'll get completely ruined. Put her back here. She's not really useful back there, but I can't do much else with her.
Well, then.
Have him hang out here. It is important to note that your gift points and sand do replenish at the end of each combat encounter. So you can use your abilities to your heart's content. You want to save a little bit, obviously, for bigger characters, depending on the amount of enemies and level, but generally, you don't have to worry too much about your resources. So I'm actually fine to wait here. We're going to just let a turn fly by. I really wish you could skip through these, because they're just so slow. It's faster than it could be. Again, faster than Codename Steam, which is the most recent game I can think of that's similar to this, but it still sucks that you can't skip through the enemy's turn. It's the sort of thing I would have loved to just pop through, or just press start, bump through it. As far as I can tell, you can't. Just try again here. Yeah, like mashing the controller, nothing's happening. I know we got to see it so the computer can think, basically, but it sucks. Like, you can see what's happening there. That was the enemy getting stuck on another enemy for a while and wasting a bunch of time. Alright, so now things are close enough that we should be able to stack up an interesting attack here. Move him like this. Why can't I hit him? There we go. Pop a quick one.
Here I go.
Have her come in. See if I can't get them both. There we go. Listen. Again, it's really cool to watch those attacks kind of like double up like that. Have her use her gift burn. Who's close enough to get hit in a fun way? Do it on this guy. I'm just trying to level things up in the right way so that I've got the right character headlining. There we go. I want that annoying British schoolgirl in the front so she can tank all the damage from the fucking Metal Gear that's coming. And look at that thing. That is a fucking Metal Gear.
This may sting.
Yeah, we're not going to kill this guy. That's actually fine, though. As long as I get her up here to do enough damage, and I'll just have her use Impact. Or Big Hit. Yeah, she's all about the beefy big hits. Even though she's wearing a friggin' bunny backpack. Like, it's just... It's incongruous in a way that I think they thought was funnier than it is. It plays into her character a little bit in terms of her, like, her pathos, but it's not fantastic. Yeah. This guy does a lot of damage. This big, burly motherfucker. So the trick here is to try to get people set up in a way that they can get in nice attack positions without getting hit first before we get him, counterattacking. Because he counterattacks with that same attack, so he'll do a ton of damage with that. So you want to try to get as many people into a nice, clean... what am I thinking? Nice, clean, non-counterable position for their assist attacks before you go full on with him. So I'm actually going to get him nice and close and just use Street Sweeper, because he can't counter that for some reason. Not doing a lot of damage. The real trick with this guy is you got to get behind him, which is what we're going to do. Ooh, I don't like using him to do that, though. Let's put her behind him, then. Gift, Impact. Yeah, we'll get a bunch of assists. Oof. Someone might die here. That's fine. If somebody dies, it's not the end of the world. They're just out of combat. You can revive them with a life stone, or they will come back at the end of the encounter. No big whoop. Get her behind as well. Use her knifing critical powers. Oh, she's gonna get ruined if I do that, though. Can I move Dr. Guy? I can. All right. Put him in a good assist position. And then gift, heal. Oh, is she just out of it? Come on. Yeah, just barely within my sphere of influence. Heal her up. And then send her behind. See if I can... no, there's no way I'll be able to move far enough back that I can use this without still getting countered. Yeah. We might as well... Oh, fuck it, we'll do it. We'll use Burn. Hopefully that'll do more damage. And then watch as everybody assists. And hope it kills, but it won't, because there's no way we'll kill him with this. And that's fine. He'll counter, knock off half her health, and then he'll probably kill her the next turn. It happens. Don't ask who that sound was. I think I just knocked over something. Yeah, she's gonna die. Oh, yeah, like, no health. Sextet Ecstasy. I don't know what that is for. I think it's because I got everyone in on a single assist. So we'll just pop off our characters who are close enough to assist attack without countering. And hopefully that'll kill him. Yep.
Here I go.
And where's her? There you go. Just watch all these pop up. And you just saw he got dazed. That's because he knocked out all his sanity. Just means he wouldn't be able to counterattack anymore. Allowing you to double up on the attacks even more. It's fun. So that's the combat here. As I said, very Fire Emblem-y. It's, you know, standard movement, then attack sort of stuff. Real, loose, simple systems, but they work. Because they're so loose and simple, there's a lot of flexibility there. There's a lot of room for interesting combos, interesting maneuvers, and each character, as you saw, they all have very unique powers, and that extends even more to a lot of my other characters. And they all mesh in some really curious ways. So, that is the gameplay. That's what that looks like. Let's get into some of the interesting story stuff. First of all, level up so. People have gained some stuff. You saw everyone's getting levels, even people who were not participating. They got some stuff, and that all goes towards their standard level, which, you know, obviously standard stats, but also their gift XP, which allows you to level up their gifts. And this is important later, but I'm going to talk about that later. Sort of, this is kind of all over the place. I'm trying to talk about things in order here, and they're all kind of flooding into one another. So let's talk about some subsystems before we get into all the big story stuff. Once we get back here. Eventually. There we go. So, after every mission, you can talk to people. That's a big thing you can do. The way talking works is that, I don't know why it's not showing here, but normally it'll show bubbles for a bunch of people, and they should all be blue. The first 2 people you talk to after a fight grant you a little bit of camaraderie with that person. Basically, friendship. Once you level up enough of that camaraderie, you're able to one of these conversations with them, where you have kind of a awkward, tense conversation with them about their past, and you learn some dumb fact about how they hate the world, or how they've got some stupid philosophy about how everyone's going to die, or how everyone's their friend, or whatever, and then that makes you better with them, and it gives you a better insight as to whether they might be the traitor. Except not at all, because this stuff is all pre-written and the traitor is dynamically chosen, so it kind of doesn't actually matter, and loses a lot of the tension and meaning behind a lot of these character-defining moments. I don't feel like me learning that she is brusque and just doesn't want to spend time with me means she's a traitor, because it could mean nothing, because the traitor is chosen randomly.
Why?
Fine.
Yeah, like, her being no nonsense, I'm not here to make friends, I just want to fulfill my objective. What is your objective? She's like, I'm not going to tell you. We just know it's to defeat the end. That might mean she's a traitor. Who knows? Will that come up later and be a big revelation? We'll be like, oh my god, she's a traitor. No, we won't. Because, you know from the start, the traitor is randomly generated, randomly chosen, making it so that you can't really lose that affection for that character. It doesn't feel like it's their fault. You can't lose your faith in them.
But
it's a bit of a bummer. It's the thing that Danganronpa has that this lacks, which is, while that is the same story every time you play it, when the twists happen there, you feel invested because the game builds up to them in a way that feels natural because it knows it's coming. Whereas this, because the twists are completely off the cuff, you can't really build up to it the same way or have the same emotional investment when the shit goes down. I'm ignoring a lot of what she's saying, frankly. She's just like, I'm saving the world because I'm a murderous bitch. She's not a fun character. I don't like her. Everyone here is kind of... They're trying to make everyone kind of flawed, but they don't really do it well enough. There's a couple good characters here, but a lot of them are a little overly tropey, let's call it. So that's the other thing. Let's go into the setup here. Standard kind of stuff, equipment. You can buy new weapons and defensive maneuvers and accessories for your characters. You know, standard RPG stuff there. Everyone's got different weapon types. You can also look at your item statuses and then go to your gifts. So this is kind of where it gets interesting, is you earn this gift XP pretty regularly, and you use that to power up your stuff, and the way you're powering up is filling out this tree. There's a bunch of different stuff here. All of it can be used in different ways, and there's some lock stuff which I'll explain later. So, yeah, big whole bunch of stuff here. Just spend some of this. See, I can pop a point in there, and unlock this thing, which allows me to power up my critical rate. So everyone kind of focuses on different things, and as you level up their gifts, they really get into some interesting areas. Like, Sho is all about premonition. He's all about kind of understanding what's going to happen before it happens, you know, premonition. So for this, I can power up his sight, which allows him to be a little faster, because he's got his spider senses on, and this, which it raises my critical rate during assisted counterattacks because I know what's happening ahead of time. And it's a useful thing. It all fits in really interesting to their abilities. They've made some interesting uses of these characters' special abilities to really spread out what they could do. And like later on, he gets stuff where he's able to hit enemies with a cave-in because he's able to, use his premonition to know that shooting that point will cause a cave-in or whatever. Like, there's all sorts of interesting ways they've used a very basic idea to kind of spread things out. Skips the next enemy phase and grants another ally phase. I don't even know how that works. Then again, I don't know what Acacia Glore is, so whatever. They've expanded her Fire Mastery to just be she has mastery over temperature, and you can later on level it up so that she's got Frost Mastery as well. She start using cold stuff, or that she's then, rather than just controlling fire, she's making fire with combustion. Like, they've got some cool ideas here. They've got some ideas as to how they might make these characters more interesting with their abilities, which I really appreciate. Or like this one, they use the fact that she's got super muscle control, or whatever they're going to call it, to allow her to heal and fortify and that kind of stuff. Like, they've got some ideas. I'm not going to do the rest of this. Just because that takes a long time. Now let's get into the big story hook here. We're going to go to the one of the few cutscenes in this game that is preordained. And I love this. Progress is saved. There's no going back. When you go to deal with a traitor, that is it. You are dealing with a traitor. We go to the judgment room. And there, as I said, there's a different traitor on each floor, so you do have to worry about that. That said, this is the first one in the game, and this one is preordained. It's the only one that's preordained. And when you do New Game Plus, this actually changes as well. Like, this encounter won't be the same. It will be different as if it were a normal floor. Which, again, is pretty interesting. It's all a pretty interesting mechanic. Now, in the Room of Judgment is how we unlock the next stratum of the tower. You can see what sick game the end, the big bad guy, has planned for us.
It seems so different.
I actually quite like these cutscenes, these dialogue scenes. I think these moving character portraits are pretty good. They seem alive in the right kind of way. Like, there's just enough movement. They don't focus on any weird stuff, NIS style, where characters are jiggling in uncomfortable ways. There's just enough movement. The hair moves a lot, which I think is a little weird, but it gives a sense of life. And the fact that everyone else is in the background, it does feel like a conversation. It's a little weird.
How could we, defenders of justice,
but it's fun.
fall into a trap?
We're gonna skip through some of this. Skip through a lot of this, actually, because they're gonna talk for a while.
Who the hell cares about that? He chose to
All right.
So you can
Now he'll show up, and we'll get our hook. Give me our hook, damn it!
We call and you show up.
You don't get a lot of like anime cutscenes, which is very interesting. It's all kind of in-engine stuff when they want to do what is a cutscene, basically.
Along quite well as you climb upward.
From what I have noticed, anyways.
But I'd like to know, have you managed to discover the treasure?
Maybe. Actually, yes, because I played this part before, but probably not if this were any other
I'm
level.
just gonna come out and admit it. But come on, how do we know you aren't lying? I'm more of a true.
Anyways, yeah, they're talking about how maybe there isn't a traitor. He's like, no, there is. I know there is.
Do you really think I'd believe there's
You can choose. You will have to. And unfortunately,
Yeah, just keep skipping through it.
there is some you must.
So this is the way this works. As he just said, I skipped through it. In order to proceed, we need to kill one of our own to go up to the next stratum. Now, obviously, your goal is to pick the person who is the traitor on that floor, rather than, an innocent.
Erase? You wanna? Why would we do something like that? We are
You are mistaken.
There you
If
go.
there is a traitor in your
So
midst,
anyways,
notice
we
the
need to
use of
erase
soap
somebody
around
in
you
order
must
to
all
move
determine.
forward. That's the thing we need to do. Our goal is to do that with the traitor, not with a good person, because, I don't know. If that's it, I don't know what happens if you pick the traitor. Because we'll get into the mechanics how you figure out who the traitor is later, but I feel like when I did this before, at one point in my other version of this game, I picked the person who got picked was not the traitor, but then they just died and we kept moving on anyways, and everyone acted like they were the traitor. It was very confusing. I don't know. I don't know.
Like that, he's gone.
Let's keep skipping. Keep skipping.
In other words,
the end.
No, we're teammates, aren't we?
Everyone here is well aware.
Oh god, you people talk a lot.
You said it.
And like I said, none of these characters are
We're still talking
especially
about
interesting, so it's not...
It'd be rather
I don't,
tedious.
no, you don't want to spend too long dealing with
Let's
them.
not forget the girl with the.
Oh, you.
Oh my
Is this
god.
really a laughing-
If you ask me, you're all.
That's cool.
Yes, you're all equally broken and don't like hanging out with each other, and by the end you'll be the best of friends. Except for all the people you kill along the
Fine
way.
by yourself?
No, I'm fine.
Oh,
Anyways, they're all going to explore the
I
room,
hope.
but then bad thing will happen in just a second. Wait for it.
It doesn't look like there's anything. If only we could use our ability.
Oh god. There's a lot of talking here. I just want to show the interesting trader mechanics. There we go, now for a little anime.
What?
All of you, just
Hey, guess who the trader is this time?
What the hell are you
Is it the
doing,
guy threatening the young girl with a fucking sword? Probably. They do it this first time, so you know who to pick, so you get an idea as to what's actually happening. Also, they chose the most annoying character to do it to, which is nice.
Stop joking around.
I'm serious about this.
He wants to kill her because justice.
The man seems rather worked.
Because something. I don't know, man.
If it means I have to.
George, what do you still gotta be kidding?
He's the fucking traitor, I got it, man.
George.
So there really was. What's
Oh, man. He has my own justice to uphold. That's what he said as I skip through this really fast.
However, I.
Such a pity. George Jackman.
Alright.
What? What do you?
There is, and you must, if even a single one.
That's.
So this is the
I
interesting
get
thing.
it. So if we lose even a single member, we won't be able to get. For instance, if they die.
This is why everybody can't just kill each other. If at these voting stations, if there is not the requisite number of people, you're not able to move forward. So everyone has to work together with the traitor to get to the end, so that they can then kill the traitor, or the traitor can kill them. It's dark and it's scary and it means so much, but it doesn't really mean anything at all.
Yeah, he's gotta learn how to.
Well, at least
Alright,
I'm
let's
sure-
pick somebody to die.
In other words,
Let's pick someone to die now. Come on.
Yoko, are you alright?
She doesn't.
Yeah, you know, anime. There's a lot of talking. That's JRPGs. I'm booking through this because I really want to show the mechanic.
that's of
Because it's interesting, and you guys can all read the story on your own time.
All pretend.
It's time for judgment. That's what that was.
So everyone vote.
Yep.
Lucked out.
The church is like, God, I wish I wasn't the traitor. This is a bad place to be in.
still yakking on.
I'm casting.
And everyone's like, we should probably kill that guy who was
We really have
holding up that lady with a sword. She's like, no, don't kill him. And he's like, oh, I should probably be killed.
judgment.
Alright. We must do this. We must get to the gameplay.
I mean, we can't stay locked in here. For
Oh,
hours
God damn it.
outside.
That's not what I'm saying.
Then each of you should all.
Yep.
vote.
George,
We don't.
Oh, God. Come on. Alright, here we go. So, as you can see, everybody has different numbers. I have 2 votes. The amount of votes a character will get is determined by how much stuff they do in combat. Because this character, and this character have done a lot of moves in combat, gotten a lot of kills, done all that stuff. They have gotten better rankings at the end of each fight. So they get more votes. You get to vote for however many traitors you think there are, for whoever, you know, the people you think might be it. So it's an interesting system where you don't want to use one character too much, because if they're the traitor, they could completely fuck over somebody. And you could vote for a person twice. We know it's him, so we're just going to put both our votes on him. But if you let a character get too lopsided, if you don't balance out your party, the traitor could presumably kill you by voting you as the one to get erased. It's a weird mechanic, but that's how that works. So everyone's just going to vote for George, because, you know, it's the story part. They do this unnecessary thing where they're like, who won? Who wants to be a millionaire? In hell. And hey, guess what? It's that guy. And then he's gonna die in a kind of cool way. Oh, come on. No more talking.
May justice's
There we go.
way be-
Justice's Glory. Justice's Glory looks a little something like what's at the other end of this load screen. There we go. He basically gets shot by a Tron laser. And then Way of the Samurai Death happens and he turns into a fucking Rubik's Cube. Yep. And he's like, no, I'm a Rubik's Cube! And he got 14 votes. What's her face got 1 because she doesn't play by anybody's rules. I always find it funny when like one person gives the vote to somebody else. Anyways, skip through all this. He's gone. He left a weird rock. We're gonna take it with us.
How's that work?
That sucks, I guess.
At the end, never said.
Are you telling me?
Yeah, and that's the thing. And there's supposed to be a traitor on each
It
floor.
appears the end has succeeded.
Oh god, you people talk forever. Shut up. And this will turn into a staircase. Hard light hologram staircase. Neato. Not that I think this stuff is bad. Again, the writing is decent here. The characters, while they're super tropey and not necessarily wicked interesting, they're interesting enough that these parts are good. It's just, this doesn't make for good video to watch me looking at all these people talk forever. But it does bear showing because it is such an important part of the game.
Let's move on, everyone.
To show this mechanic and show how the whole sacrificing thing happens.
You say that, but
And then show, more importantly, how you find a traitor later on.
That mindset makes
Which is what I want to show. We eventually get to it.
Everyone.
I don't have much faith in
Oh my god, you people.
I take it. All right.
Moving forward. Next floor. So that's how you proceed in the game. You do a bunch of levels. You do a vote. Somebody dies. And then you move on to the next stratum, which is a different looking map from the last one. The map style is generally the same within an entire stratum. And here there'll be new items to buy, all that kind of stuff. As you can see, this looks more foresty than city-like. Unlike the last floor. Skip that. Skip whatever I can skip. Everything. Oh god, no more talking. So yeah, that was... they're talking about the stone we found, and it fits into the sockets in our weapons. That's weird. That's because this is how the game kind of keeps your progress. The characters have been killed already. It's weird. We can go... you don't need to show me this. I was just about to explain it. You get what is called Fate Materia. It is all the rock George left, and we can equip that onto people to give them George's skills. So his main attack, as well as anything else he learned, and we can also apply that to certain characters. So, I think it's her. If I were to equip her with the Sense Materia, later on, once I've powered her up, she'll be able to learn Silent Slash. If she does not have the Sense Materia, she could not use this ability. And everyone has a bunch of abilities that are like this, where they are locked out from them until they find another person's rock, their materia. Which, obviously, you're not going to get all of these, and you're not going to get specific ones. You can see this is... the one we got specifically from George was the Sense Materia, but he has 3 different fields of stuff that you can get rocks for. Blade Master, Full Heroism, and Sense. So, the idea, I guess, is that you'll play through the game multiple times, getting multiple materias from each character to kind of put in different places, allowing you to learn different moves. That's what I assume what they want you to do. And the other thing you can do is, I don't know if I even have it yet, is Vision, which there's not really a good way to show it, is there? No. That's a pity. The Vision stuff, basically, remember at the end of the last mission we played, we saw all those voices going on. We saw people's character boards fly by, and then little words from them, little snippets with red lines. That is your premonition at the end of battle as to who might be the traitor. You are wanting to track at the end of each battle who was there, who said red stuff, who didn't, and from that you discern who a possible traitor is. Then you're able to spend these things called vision points, which you also earn from battle, to do this little mini game to delve into their hearts and see if they are truly the traitor, which is basically just you chasing them around a weird nether abyss for a while. And with that, you hopefully are able to discern the traitor, sway other people's votes in favor of that person, and with any luck, not end up with an innocent person dead. I'm not going to show it because I have to fight through another mission, and that's like another 40 minutes gameplay, so we're not doing that. But yeah, that's Lost Dimension. It's pretty interesting. It's got some good mechanics. It's got some good hooks. Got some good conceits. I don't think those necessarily fit into the story as well as I like. I feel like the story's a little scattered, frankly. Now, the characters aren't as interesting as they could be, and for as much as the idea of traders abound, traders all around, traders abound is a cool story hook, because it is so woven into the gameplay, it's not able to be as flawlessly executed as I might like. So, we're out of here. If you want my more detailed thoughts on this game, check back on the site in a couple weeks. We're going to have a full review of this game up. But for now, that's kind of my initial thoughts on Lost Dimension. Cool idea. Fairly well executed, but it's not quite as tight as it could be. So, yeah, as always, I've been your host, Halfbeard, and we're out of here. Later, guys.
Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed that piece of Halfbeard's HUD content. We can't thank you enough for taking the time to watch it. That said, I did want to take a moment to let you all know that we do have both a Patreon page as well as a PayPal link on our website if you're interested in donating to us. Those donations will allow us to improve our recording equipment, cover the games that publishers don't send us, and take things a step further with new features such as a revived Halfbeard's HUD podcast. Our goal has always been to provide you with reliable and enjoyable content, and your support would really help us pursue that in even bigger and better ways. Thanks again for watching, and have a good one.